Hello! How is everybody doing today? Look what arrived yesterday. Paper pumpkin. This is the June. It is called A Little Smile. And we're going to go into it in a little bit. We're not going to make anything from it. I just want to show you everything that's in here because it's pretty cute. I opened it last night when I got it. I couldn't help it. I don't wait. I thought about waiting and doing a Facebook Live like unboxing with it, but I'm too impatient. I can't do it. And last night when my son went to get the mail, there was just no way we were going to do a Facebook Live last night. So anyway, I opened it. Before we get to that, if you want to order any of the supplies I'm going to use on today's card, please head to my shopping page, my website. It is listed in the video description below. Use this host code, and if your order's over $50, I'm going to send you a package of the peacock rhinestones, which I think I have right here. I've used a lot, but they're pretty amazing. And I actually had to trim my package down to fit it into my holder that I hold it in because it's so big. You get so many. But they're pretty amazing. I love them. So let's check out Paper Pumpkin. While we're waiting for people to join, let's just check out Paper Pumpkin this month. So this month's Paper Pumpkin is a little different. It is all about random acts of kindness. So this little flyer in the beginning is telling us it feels good to do good, and even small acts of kindness can go a long way. So these cards are meant to be put in your bag and just hand it out when somebody does something nice for you, or you see somebody maybe having a hard day. These are great to hand out to them. So first of all, the ink spot, Coastal Cabana. This is my favorite. Like, this is what happiness looks like. Coastal Cabana. That's all. That's it. So I'm so happy to have an ink spot in Coastal Cabana. And then the stamp set is really cute. It's very beachy. And I'm not a real beachy kind of girl, but I really like the stamp set. There's lots of great greetings. Thank you. It means so much. My day is better because of you. Just a little smile. You made my day special. You are amazing. So really, really good greetings. And then I'm gonna get into the good stuff. So this is the little pouch that your cards are going to go in. So, I mean, it's small. You can see the cards are small. They are not full-size cards, but I think there is like 16 of them. I think it's 4 of each. But how cute is that? So you make all your cards, stick them in here, and then you're ready to hand them out whenever you need to. And here are the little envelopes. So you can see how cute these are, how cute and tiny these are. And they do fit a gift card. So you could throw in some gift cards, hand them out to maybe some co-workers or something. But there's 2 different kinds of envelopes, Old Olive and Coastal Cabana. Love. And then there's little vellum things. Here, let me figure out how to open these. These are super cute. I looked at them yesterday. They're so this is like vellum. I don't know, it kind of looks coral-like. And then, so you get a bunch of those, and then you get a bunch of these, like, vellum seaweed looking things. So really cool too. I'm really excited about those. There's linen thread. These are all the little mini card bases. So really, really cute designs. It's little beach designs. Very cute. I really dig this one. Lots of little pre-cut things. These are labels, palm trees. You get 2 sheets of palm trees, some more little leaves, maybe like palm leaves. You get 2 sheets of those, some just white labels, and then some glimmer starfish and sand dollars. Are you kidding me? So cute. So, and then the directions. Let me pull out the directions. Of course, you have your directions in there and what all the finished cards look like. So that is what the finished cards look like. So really, really cute, and such a cute idea. I love having little cards on hand. And these would also be great to take on vacation, hand them out to people on vacation that, you know, help you out through your vacation. I think that would really make somebody's day too. Okay, we're gonna move on to the card. But I just wanted to show you that. And if you are interested in Paper Pumpkin, if you're not currently a subscriber, I've also left a link to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin in the video description. Paper Pumpkin is amazing. I love Paper Pumpkin. And next month, they haven't told us what the cards are going to look like, but they told us it's going to coordinate with 3 different suites in the catalog. And I think they said there was, how many cards? 9 or 12? I don't remember. But it's a decent amount. And for, I mean, it's about 20-ish bucks. So I think it's pretty amazing. Okay, this is the card we're going to make. Isn't it beautiful? I love it. We're using lots of new stuff on this card, and I have lots and lots of tips for this card, and we're using the Stamparatus. I mean, we're pulling out all the stops for this card. So the stamp set that we're using is called the Path of Petals stamp set, and I meant to grab my catalog because I wanted to show you this whole suite in the catalog. So hang on, let me find it in the catalog. Path of Petals on page 74 if you're following along at home. So the Path of Petals stamp set is on page 74, but we're going to go to the page before to look at the whole suite. So this one, it was not on my radar to begin with, but it's amazing. So what is included in the suite is, so the Path of Petals stamp set, the label dies, which we're not going to use today, but they are pretty amazing. The scripty embossing folder, which we will use today. The designer elements, the journal, the gathered ribbon, which you guys is amazing. We're not using it on the project, but it's amazing, amazing. The DSP, which we are using, and then the Press Petals washi tape, which is pretty amazing. I have it here. We're not going to use it on the project, but I will show it to you guys because it's, again, amazing. So, lots of amazing stuff in this suite, and you can get the entire suite for one item number. Just get everything. If you love it all, just get everything. So, but what I wanted to talk about real quick today specifically was the embossing folders, and I'm going to show you some tips and tricks with the embossing folders today. So I'm going to move the card. What we're going to do is emboss the, I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but the back is embossed with that scripty embossing folder. So we're going to do that first. But let me pull my Big Shot in. We're gonna talk about the embossing folders for a minute. So here's my Big Shot, or your die cutting machine. I'm not supposed to say Big Shot, but pull in your die cutting machine. And then you want your platform, whatever platform you use for embossing. Now, the deal with our new textured embossing folders is that they're a little thinner than our old ones. So your old sandwich of plate, embossing folder, or platform embossing folder, and then plate will not work anymore. Let me get some cardstock out to emboss to show. So if we were to do it the old way, this is the old way. So we're going to stick this in here and we're going to run it through. It's not going to do anything. Trust me. It's just not. So it's not going to do, so there is 0 impressions on this. So your folder is a little bit thinner, which means you need to make your sandwich a little bit thicker. Now, there are a couple ways to do this. You can use shims, and that is a paper pumpkin thing that didn't get put away. So I'm going to show you a couple different shims, and then I'm going to show you another solution altogether. So the first shim is, I have 5 sheets of just printer paper. This is just your regular paper. You run through the printer. I'm going to put that on top of my platform. And then I'm going to line up my paper in here. And this one I'm actually going to line up nice and straight, since this will emboss now. So what we're doing is just making the sandwich thick enough to emboss. So, and then I'm going to put my plate on top. And then we're going to run it through. Now the paper, so again, that was 5 sheets of paper folded in half. That was just printer paper. That's not cardstock. That was just printer paper. And everybody's die cutting machine is going to be a little different. So for you, maybe it only takes 4 pieces of paper, or maybe it takes 6 pieces of paper. I don't know. And I actually could probably go with some more paper in here, but you can see that cool impression now. So that is just using printer paper. So I think we all have that at home. Don't waste your cardstock. Just keep this stack, use it as a shim. Now the other option, you don't want to use paper. Maybe you're short on paper, like at my house where your daughter uses it all the time, is take your silicone mat. These are fantastic. If you don't have a silicone mat, you need a silicone mat for sure. These are in the catalog. I think they're like $5. They're very inexpensive. They are great for, I use this a ton with my glue gun. Nothing sticks to it. You can use the silicone mat for reverse stamping, which is fantastic. The ink just wipes right off. It's fantastic. So if you don't have, if you don't want to use the paper, use your silicone mat. So just your platform, silicone mat. We're going to put another piece of paper. I'm going to show you this one too. We're going to put another piece of cardstock into our embossing folder. And then we're going to run this one through. And this one I think gives a little bit better impression than the paper. So if you have your silicone mat, I would definitely use that instead. And let's pull this out if we can. So then we get a much better impression on that. Let me see if my light is cooperating. I think we get a much better impression. Let me pull in, this is the paper one, so you can kind of see. This one is a little bit deeper. So now the third option, you don't want to use a silicone mat, you don't want to use paper, that's fine. We now sell, Stampin' Up! Is selling this beautiful blue plate. This is an embossing plate, which will work specifically with our new embossing folders. So you'll stick your piece of paper into your embossing folder, and this one you'll make your sandwich exactly the same. You'll put it right on your platform, and you'll use the blue plate instead of your other plates that you normally would use. So you're going to use the blue plate. So we're going to run that through. And this one does give the best impression, but again, you can play with your shims, play with your sandwiches until you get the impression you want if you don't have that blue plate. So here you can see that beautiful impression you get now with that scripty embossing folder. Okay, so 3 different options. If you don't have the blue embossing plate, use your silicone mat or just use some paper shims. You'll get there. Just keep making your sandwich as needed until it's thick enough. So I'm going to pull the Big Shot out of the way. We're going to pull it out again in just a little while when we cut, but I'm going to keep one of my embossed pieces here. I'm going to put the other ones aside for another card, and we're going to use this one on our card. So other pieces of my card, and I don't think I mentioned, this is 5 1/4 by 4. This is a piece of cardstock cut in half. This is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and it is scored in half at 4 1/4. And this color, the color that I'm using too, I didn't say, this is one of our new colors. This is Terracotta Tile. It's really starting to grow on me. And then we have a piece of Mossy Meadow, which is 5 1/2 by 2 1/4. Let me put the card out that we're making so you guys know where we're going with this. And then I have a piece of that pressed Petals DSP, and I love this pattern. It looks like burlap. It's so pretty. This is 5 1/2 by 2, and the back of this is like pressed leaves. Very cool. The whole package of DSP is pretty spectacular. I love it all. And then I've already heat embossed a greeting from that Path of Petals stamp set. This is a stamp that we're using. We've already heat embossed that greeting just on a scrap, and then I cut it out with my scissors, and then I just have a scrap of white that we're going to stamp on. Okay, now we're going to move everything back out of the way and pull out my Stamparatus. Okay, I told you guys we're using all the tools today. So let me get my Stamparatus out. Okay, and I'm going to turn it this way because my Big Shot is to my right, so I can't go right. Okay. So we're going to use both plates today because we are going to stamp 3 different things, and I don't have any of the stamps on my Stamparatus, so we're doing this all together, you guys. So let me pull out a magnet because I want it to hold in place. Actually, I'm going to pull it down and line it up with this one, and this is our new mat for the Stamparatus, and it comes with this printed grid design, which I love, because in the when you bought the Stamparatus before, it came with a black mat, but if you're using photopolymer and you put that black mat on there, you've now covered up your grid line, which means it's a lot harder to get images straight or to line them up again. So this one has the grid already on it. Fantastic. So I'm going to put this down here, and I'm going to just say I'm diagonal to the logo, and that's how we're going to know to line this up. So I have my magnet down, and I'm going to start with my leaf image. So you can see on here, there's 3 different things we're stamping here. So I'm going to start with this one, with the leaf image. And this one, because we're die cutting it, with an oval in the end after we stamp it. I'm not going to be too precise about where it goes because we're just going to be die cutting it anyway. So I'm going to lay that on my paper and I'm going to pick it up with my plate. I just turned that, picked it up. I'm going to make sure this is nice and lined up right against that line and right against the side over here. And I have some Mossy Meadow ink. And I'm going to, let me move this over a little bit so everybody can see. I'm going to put my case under it so that it holds my plate nice and flat. And we're going to ink, 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 ink. Okay. Ink, ink, ink. Okay. And we're going to press it down. Typically, I like to line things up in the corner, but because sometimes in the corner it's harder to get a better impression, I wanted it in the middle, but I like that. The leaves look great. So now all I'm going to do is lift off my plate and turn it around. And that is going to ink the back of my, let me pull in the backs of one of my things. I don't want to get it all over my case. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to take the flowers. And the flowers I may have to get all up in the camera here to make sure these are all nice and lined up. Maybe not. Perfect. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to close this one. We're going to pick that up. We're going to make sure that paper is in the same place, lined up flush with the side. And on my line, my son's phone is going off, if you can hear that. That is my son's cell phone. Probably one of his many friends calling him. So we'll just hang out for a second until that's done. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I can hear it. They are, he's in the bedroom on another device, so I'm sure he didn't hear that. Okay, so I'm going to press that down. That was inked in that terracotta tile. So pretty. Oh my gosh, it's already looking so good. Okay, we're gonna make sure that paper is there. And then I'm going to take off this plate and I'm gonna move this plate over to the side because I just like to work with the Stamparatus on the side, and then I'll put this plate back over here. And it's just easier for me to stamp side to side instead of up and down. So, but you can use a Stamparatus however you want. And then the last one that's going on here is like these little extra, I mean, they're not little like leaves. I don't know what you call that, but we're stamping them in crumb cake, whatever they are. And so that is gonna go on. So we're just gonna like line those up. How did it line up? Yep, just like that. And these again, I mean, we're not looking for perfection here, but perfect. I think that's pretty good. We're going to pick it up on our plate. We're gonna turn our plate, pick it up. If you don't have a Stamparatus, it is one of those tools you must have. I'm gonna use crumb cake, inking it up, and we're gonna stamp it. Boom. Oh, I love it. Doesn't that look great? Love it. Okay, now I am going to move my Stamparatus aside. I'm not sure where because I don't really have a plan of where to put it. It's all inky. I'll clean it later. So now we're going to cut this out. So I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine again. So let me move my die out of the way. Bring in my die cutting machine. And I got to find the right platform. You guys, I have bunches of platforms here, bunches of plates. So is a crafter's life, right? Okay, 2 plates. All right, so I have my magnetic platform. I have 1 plate on the bottom. We're gonna put our paper on, and I'm using the stitched oval. This is the largest stitched oval. My example, I did not use a stitched oval, but I thought let's do it for this one. And the stitched oval is actually slightly smaller, so we may cut off a couple of leaves, but that's okay. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna run that through. And there we go. Okay, so we're gonna take that out. We're gonna move the Big Shot again, or the die cutting machine. Oh, change is hard, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna pop this out. How cute does that look on the stitched oval? So cute. Okay, the hard part's all done, you guys. Now we're just assembling. It is assembly time. Okay, that was for that. Okay, we have, so here's our sample. We know what we're doing. Here's our stamped piece. We're gonna start by assembling these two together. I'm just using snail adhesive for this. You can use your preferred adhesive, whatever that may be. Okay, and we're just sticking the DSP onto that mossy meadow piece. We're leaving a little bit of a border on the top and the bottom. There we go. Perfect. And then onto our card base. We're gonna put that scripty embossed piece. Now make sure there is an up and a down to this piece, because I mean the words clearly go up and down, so make sure that you put this right side up, because don't ask me why I know that, just make sure you put it right side up. Now the scripty embossing folder, they said actually came from Real Love Letters, so that's kind of cool. And then on top of that, we're going to add our DSP piece, our mossy meadow piece, just right along the middle. And this is gonna line up right with our card base. It's 5.5 inches long, so it's gonna go right up with our card base. So cute already. And then we're gonna use some dimensionals on the back of our stamped piece. And I'm using a bunch because you guys know me. Gotta use them. Use them if you have them. Okay. And we're almost done. This card is almost to a stopping point. So pretty. I really love this terracotta tile color. And I'm not really an orange color kind of person, so, but this really works. I love it. So I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive. I'm using my snail adhesive just on the right side of the greeting. And then I'm going to use a dimensional on the left side of the greeting, because the left side is going to hang off and the right side is going to just overlap on the stamped piece, and I want it all at an even level. So we're going to put that on here. Make sure that's nice and straight. Perfect. And that is white heat embossed. I don't know if I said that. I think I did. And then we're going to just take a couple of pearls. I'm just going to use my snips because I don't know where my Take Your Pick tool is, although that would work much better. So we're going to use the snips, and I'm just putting them on these two flowers, the ones that look like they're nice and open. And the greeting is from that same Path of Petals stamp set, and the greetings in the Path of Petals stamp set are really, really nice. It's a great greeting set to have on hand. Okay, so that is it, you guys. That is my card. So you can see the difference in size with the ovals, but I actually love that stitched edge. I think that really adds a lot to it. So I hope you enjoyed all of those tips with the new embossing folders. If you have any questions on anything, please leave them in the comments down below. If you want to purchase anything that I've used today or anything else in the annual catalog, please head to my online store. Use that hostess code if your order is over $50. I'm going to send you a package of the peacock rhinestones. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends. I love meeting new stamping friends and new people, so please share this video with your friends, and I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place, Tuesday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you then.